Greetings to all Southern Cameroonians on ground zero and across the world. This is King H. I gotta say, I was really impressed by Eric Tato's latest live video, and I really want to have a discussion, as usual, about what he said and about why the revolution has been on a standstill. The momentum of the revolution has slowed down. And it has slowed down because of lack of true management by the so-called president Samuel Sako, who has destroyed the revolution because of mismanagement, because of theft, because of his greed. I said this on Eric Tato's live video when I called. I said, President or so-called President Samuel Sako is worse than President Paul Biya, who is doing the killing in Southern Cameroon. I say this because Southern Cameroonians, the citizens of Southern Cameroons, now called Ambazonians, have suffered in the hands of President Paul Biya and in the hands of French Cameroonians through the marginalization that the citizens of French Cameroonians have done to Southern Cameroonian citizens. All the discrimination, or how they look down on Southern Cameroonians as inferior and treat Southern Cameroonians as less than human beings. For over 50-something years, Southern Cameroonians have suffered, and they have fought, spoken against the marginalization, but to no ears, the French Cameroonians and the French Cameroon government did not listen. And it has gone to a point where the revolution was so bubbling and boiling, it had to explode to the point where we are right now, using guns to fight for our liberation, for our liberty, for our freedom. Because we know that there is no way Southern Cameroonians can be united or can stay united with La République du Cameroon, with French Cameroonian citizens, because separating from La République du Cameroon means that we are also separating from the citizens of French Cameroonians, because we are aware, we know that there's no way to keep this fake union going further because of all what our people have gone through. And because of that, the roles of guns and violence against La République, because the people know that, they are aware that there's no way other than using guns to regain their independence, to regain their freedom, to regain their destiny in their own hands. Now, we're at a point where everything has been organized. Where if President Sako, so-called President Sako, had used the funds that was given by the people in the diaspora, the Southern Cameroonians in the diaspora, I included, the funds for my trip to Boya, if that was used for the purpose, buying guns, supporting the revolution, instead of using the money as he's using in El Salvador, in Brazil, buying hotels or buying bonds in hotels, money that is needed to support the revolution. Why? Because of mismanagement. President Sako is insignificant, is irrelevant. He lacks the skills to be a true leader. And true leadership, being in the house, being in your house, being in wherever school, wherever you work at, requires management. President Eric Tato discussed this issue very well, to put it clearly to all Southern Cameroonians to understand why our revolution has slowed down. And the only way for this revolution to pick back up is to castigate or get rid of the useless, insignificant, incompetent leader or so-called leader called President Sako, because it's not a leadership. He's a fraudster, a scammer. He's scamming the people of Southern Cameroon and their freedom and their lives. The worst part is their lives. Many Southern Cameroonian citizens are dying because of this man's action. The people of Southern Cameroonians are being killed because of this useless man's egoistic, selfish action to make money out of the revolution. To make money from the people, from the blood of the people. And when we have a great activist like Eric Tato speaking with significant evidence to prove that Samuel Sako is not for the people, but for himself. He doesn't care about the people who are dying on ground zero. He doesn't care about the citizens who are dying on ground zero. He cares about making money for himself and his family. And he's using every other incompetent activist out there to make sure that he obtains and acquire his own agenda, which would leave out the agenda of the people of Southern Cameroon, which is what? The liberation, the freedom of that country called Southern Cameroon, which is now called Ambazonia. In order for Southern Cameroon to gain independence, freedom, we must do it by blood. But doing it by blood doesn't mean that we sacrifice our people stupidly, foolishly. We do that by making sure that our soldiers on the ground who are fighting this war in Southern Cameroon, who are fighting the forces of like Republic of Cameroon, have the AK-47 and the ammunitions, and they are well protected to defeat the forces of like Republic of Cameroon. We must focus on the agenda, on the goal that we want to accomplish. And the Ambazonian diaspora community has a role to play to make sure that the soldiers, defense forces, all our soldiers are focused and fighting against La République du Cameroon, not against our own citizens. Because every moment or every time we waste going after blacklegs, it reduces the momentum and actually strengthen the forces of La République, because now we are fighting those blacklegs. The forces of La République are fighting against us, fighting every moment to bring the citizens of Southern Cameroonians down, or the soldiers of Southern Cameroonians down. So killing our citizens or killing us, the soldiers, they don't care so long as, because that's their agenda. President Paul Biya doesn't want decentralization. President Paul Biya doesn't want federation. President Paul Biya wants to control the entire Southern Cameroon and French Cameroon together. He doesn't want that the people to tell him what to do. He wants to tell the people what to do. He doesn't want to give federation. He doesn't want to give decentralization. That's not his goal. That's not his purpose. And that's not the agenda of Cameroon, as well as the agenda of France. Even though France may say, oh, we will bring decentralization, that is a fat lie. Because that is going to go against their own purpose. So long as President Paul Biya can continue to kill the soldiers of La Republic of Ambazonia, so long as President Paul Biya and his military continue to kill the soldiers of Ambazonia, they win. So long as they kill the citizens of Anglophones, they win. That's how President Paul Biya sees it. So those who think they are for federation, like Agbabala, or those who think they are fighting to get decentralization, you will not obtain that. You will never achieve that so long as President Paul Biya is in that power. And then you also have this other guy who wants to be president. I seem to forget his damn name. What the heck is his name? I've forgotten his name. Who is trying to be the next president in Cameroon with his fuck it. It doesn't matter anyway. He too is saying that we will have to discuss with Anglophones of what type of Maurice Campton. He will have to discuss with Anglophones and to see what type of system that we have to set. That's all a lie. He doesn't. There's not gonna say, if he becomes the next president, he's not gonna set any. He's not gonna discuss with Anglophones to set a system that will be put in place. Nah, he's gonna continue with the work of President Paul Biya, which is making sure that they have complete control over Southern Cameroon and over Cameroon in general. Why? Given what France wants. France is a leech that is not going to let go. They're going to suck French Africa and benefit for French Africa so long as they can do it, until French Africa decide to rise against France and cut complete link from France, being it militarily or being it politically. One way or the other, that's the only way French Africa will have to be free from France. But so long as France has control over French Africa, they will use any method to have complete control over French Africa, which also includes Cameroon. And because of that, a state like Southern Cameroon is affected because of the fake union that we have with La Republique du Cameroon. So we must do everything possible to cut this link with French Cameroon. That will also help us cut the link with France, and then we will regain our independence and determine the course of Southern Cameroon and Ambazonia, which will be to join ECOWAS, because that will make Southern Cameroon even stronger and more powerful to have master of their faith. But so long as we have this so-called leader who is mismanaging the funds, who is stealing the funds, whom other nations have accused, of stealing money that was supposed to be used for the revolution, money that he's using for his own purposes. We must get rid of Samuel Sako, making sure that he has no voice in this revolution. His voice must be completely eliminated. And when we do that, especially with the introduction of DARK, and the people are putting in money, and the money is being used for the purpose the money was generated for. And you see results on the ground as how the military of Southern Cameroon is taking control and staying focused on the goal, which is freedom, which is independence, which is complete liberation from La République du Cameroon, becoming the master of the fate of Amazonia. We Southern Cameroons must do that. I want to make another point that about National Telegraph made a post. National Telegraph is partnering with Southern Cameroon's Women League, Beretta News, Mama Ambazonia, Revolt Updates to provide 5,000 hand sanitizers to over 5,000 of our people in lock up across La République dungeons to help them fight against the coronavirus. This is true leadership. This is what you call management. This is the kind of stuff, the kind of ideas, the kind of things that the so-called president Sako should be talking about and should be promoting if he had the interest of Southern Cameroon. But because he doesn't have the interest of Southern Cameroon, he only has the interest to benefit from the revolution of Southern Cameroon and Amazonia. He only wants to steal from the people. That's what he wants to achieve. Steal from the people and get himself enriched. While our citizens are dying day in, day out by the forces of La République Cameroon. If you don't see this as an incompetent leader who has been there for 2 years and hasn't done anything that has contributed to the revolution beside stealing from the revolution. If some Southern Cameroonians cannot open their hate, their minds, their soul to see the truth of what Sako is doing, then it does. So long as Sako is there doing what he's doing, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 years, Southern Cameroonians will never regain independence. But so long as Southern Cameroonians realize, and they are realizing that, we must kick this fool who thinks he can abuse us, who thinks he can use us and make money for his own purposes. So long as Southern Cameroonians can kick the so-called president Sako and Chris Ano out completely of the revolution, making sure that their voice become voiceless, then we will have this revolution on track and focus, making sure that we win the war militarily as well as diplomatically. We cannot focus all on diplomacy and then not contribute money for military purposes. Because if you cannot win a war militarily, a revolution, not even a war, just any war, a revolution militarily, then you will never regain independence. Even if you win the win in the diplomatic sector and cannot win with the war, with the revolutionary war, then you will not see independence, because the person that wins the war with the guns has control over you. So Southern Cameroonians, it's time to see the truth for what it is and contribute to dark and kick out this so-called Sako, because he's not bigger than the revolution. The revolution is bigger than him. Many people have given their souls for this revolution. Many people have died for this revolution, and we will not just allow this revolution to die out and be controlled by these dogs called French Cameroonians or French La République du Cameroon. We will not be controlled by Franks who don't give a damn about Africa. The world does not give a damn about Africa. The world wants to benefit from the resources of Africa. France benefits. China benefits. Russia benefits. Every other nation, even India, benefits from Africa. But Africa must benefit. Africans must benefit from Africa because it is our continent. So as Southern Cameroonians must benefit from Southern Cameroon and Bazonia because it is our state. It is our state. And we must make sure that it remains us. This is King Achu, the Pan-African king, the philosopher king, the inspirational leadership. Till next time.